Hello there and welcome. This is Mikhail or Michael speaking, and without wasting your time, let's jump straight to the battlefield. The Battle of Bakhmut is still raging on. The Russians had continued their push on the east side of the Bakhmutovka River and had captured more and more territory. Here we can see the changes. So this was yesterday, and this is today. There are reports coming in that the bridge that is located here has been destroyed. Not sure about this bridge right here. I'm sure Ukrainians are using it to withdraw to the other side of the Bakhmutka River. No changes on the south side of Bakhmut, but reports are coming in that Russians are not only attacking along these axes, but also are attacking towards the village of Ivanovsky. A bit more to the south, we can see that Russians had slightly been pushed away right here. The Russians regained overall control on this side of the river. They as well control a little bit land on the other side of the river. So overall, Russia has a bridgehead for future attacks. To the north of Bakhmut, we see a slight change. So this was yesterday and this is today. Like previously, the Russians are attacking along the railroad and using it to punch through Ukrainian defense and spread their attack all around the front. It seems that Russians are coming closer and closer to the Avdiivka village, and the battle of that village might soon start. There are also reports that Ukrainians are pulling away from the city entirely. They are going through Ivanivsky and Khromove to the overall direction of Chasiv Yar. I'm sure they will use this river for the next defensive position against Russian army attacks. Overall, as much as Ukrainians don't want to admit it, the Battle of Bakhmut is lost. Ukrainians are defeated and slowly retreat. Overall, Russians are continuously trying to encircle Bakhmut at this point. For real, a lot of people have been talking that Russians are trying to leave a safe corridor for Ukrainians to withdraw. In my opinion, this is extremely stupid. If you want to win a war, you destroy enemy everywhere and anywhere they are. But again, I'm not a Russian commander and I cannot decide. Overall, I think it's gonna bite Russians in the ass. They need to destroy as much Ukrainian troops and armor as possible. And we do not see that. The Russians are also attacking towards overall direction of Dubovo-Vasiliivka and Orekhovo-Vasiliivka. Next, you can see a bit bigger village of Vinikivka, which Russians might attack in the future. Overall, I believe Russians will gain control all over this front, and Ukrainians will defend behind the river. To the north of Bakhmut, there is Seversk and Liman front. For some time, Russians are unable to capture village of Vesely and Razdalivka. They are also attacking towards village of Belohorivka, but without any success. Again, Russians are trying to capture the city of Seversk, but with no success as of right now. No changes as you can see on the map when it comes to Liman. Russians are attacking all over this front, but with no success. Ukrainians are fighting hard. They have a very strong positions in this region. It is forests and marshlands, so Russians are having a hard time attacking. Overall, Ukrainians are defending on all fronts in this region. To the very north, we see the village of Dvorichna. Russians are unable to capture the village, nor they unable to progress further into Ukrainian territory in the overall direction of the city of Kupiansk. Again, reports are coming in that they captured Sinikivka and are advancing further, but this information needs to be confirmed. Once again, if they had captured this village, that means they're getting control of this road, which they can use to attack the village of Petropavlivka and go further to Kupiansk itself. But again, this is a topic of much speculation. Next, we have Avdiivka. First, we go to the north and we can see that Russians had not captured any land. Overall, we can see that they are attempting to attack towards the village of Novokalinove to cut off the railroad and the system of roads that leads to the city of Avdiivka. They're also fighting for the village of Krasnokharivka, Vesely, and Kamyanka. However, the reports are that Russians had captured Kamyanka for some time now. The map doesn't show it, but the gray area suggests it. Some changes happened south of Avdiivka. Here you can see what had happened. First of all, Russians are attacking from the village of Aputna towards Avdiivka, but are not able to do anything. Again, absolutely understandable. An open field with a strong Ukrainian positions. They're also attacking from Vodyane towards the village of Pervomaisky, from this side and as well as from this side. But Pervomaisky stands and there are no changes as of right now. However, Russians came closer to the village of Nevelsky. Here you can see a change. It would seem that they had captured this forest line, and it is the last forest line before the village starts. So now Russians need to pass this field to attack Nevelsky itself. From here we go to Marinka. Here are some changes on the map. As you can see, no success in the city itself as well as to the north of it. Russians are attacking, and again, as the gray area suggested, had captured this side of the river. That means that if Ukrainians were to retreat, Russians will have a full fire control over their retreat. But again, the map doesn't show that as a captured Russian territory. However, there are changes at the Russian advancements at the village of Pobeda. Here you can see the change. It would seem that Russians had started fighting for the village itself. Overall, this village is important because there's a road that goes through it and supports Konstantinivka, and Russians can use this road to attack with their armor. Once again, the land is extremely bad and muddy and no tanks can attack on it. So roads are extremely important at this season and in this time of the war. After that we go to Vuhledar. No changes here, but as you can see the gray area had slightly moved. This can only mean that Ukrainians had counter-attacked Russians and pushed them out. But then again, this information is a bit late because for about a week we knew that Russians had pulled to the Pavlivka behind the river. Overall, Russians are continually attacking at Vuhledar. They don't want to give up on this city just yet. They are also attacking in this direction towards this mine. Once again, we can see there's a road here and there's a road here. So Russians don't need to storm the city of Vuhledar itself, and overall we can see Russians are attempting just that. But again, very open area, and Ukrainians have complete fire control over this whole region. There's also one news article I want to toggle. Again, it's not really a political. Russian reservists fought with shovels during assault on Ukrainian stronghold, says UK Ministry of Defense. First of all, if we read a bit deeper into it, we can see that Russian reservists say they were ordered to attack Ukrainian strong point armed only with firearms and shovels. So here comes the firearm, which they did not include in the article. This, you can see, an interesting way of manipulation and deceit. Well, pretty typical for CNN. And just to be sure, they are sort of agreeing that this type of shovel was created a long time ago, and it was actually created in order to fight as well. It's very interesting too. You can go on YouTube and see how well it does against human skulls and overall body. So this news, first of all, deceitful. Second of all, nothing out of ordinary. The shovel they're talking about is pretty typical and standard for any Russian soldiers, not just reservists, but also VDV and special operation groups. So yeah, PS, who would have known? CNN. Anyway, thank you all for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you do, please like, sub, and comment as it is good for algorithms. And as always, have a good day.